and looks really good.
I think the crust looks nicely baked on the exterior. I like a little bit of color there.
And the beautiful decor of bees and beeswax.
Let's cut into it and see what it looks like inside.
It's very crusty, flaky, everything I love about pie. Oh my gosh.
That looks...
That's a good piece of pie right there, huh?
It's so flaky.
That's a look at Netflix competition show. It's called Blue Ribbon Baking Championship. Serving as a judge on the show is a pastry chef with some pretty impressive credentials.
His prestigious resume places him in the White House kitchen for 2 presidents. Please welcome restaurateur and former White House executive pastry chef, Bill Yosses. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
What an honor to have you here.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Knowing your creds, we're about to get all the secrets from the White House, I think.
Okay,
right?
good. I'll spill them.
Right? So let's talk about your days. People may not know, but you cooked for President Bush and President Obama.
Yes, for both families, honor of a lifetime. It was just a wonderful, wonderful moment, and it's kind of fun to see everybody back on television this week with all the excitement of the convention.
What are the secrets? You know, what did they want?
You know, it's funny. President Barack Obama, even before he came into the White House, sent word ahead, I only like pies. Don't bother with anything else, just pies.
Wow.
But he really liked his pies.
Okay.
What was his favorite pie?
You know, it sort of changed. It really, it started out like banana cream pie, chocolate pudding pie, and then he kind of got, I don't know if it's healthier, but a little bit more towards the fruit pies, apple, peach, berry
and probably
pie,
seasonal,
cherry.
right? Because Mrs. Obama was so into growing all of these wonderful things.
Absolutely. That was a big part of my job, was working on the garden on the south lawn of the White House. Very exciting to have your own garden, your own kind of, you know, supply chain right out the door.
And how about the Bush family?
Yes, also, President Bush, I think he never met a dessert that he didn't like.
That's awesome.
He loved all desserts.
That's great.
How do you get chosen to be the White House?
You know, I wish I knew. I'd sell the secret formula. I just got a call one day. I think there had been some articles in magazines with pictures of desserts that I had made in food magazines. So when they were looking for someone, my predecessor had retired. I think they just picked up some magazines and said, you know, let's interview him.
Okay, and then we were also talking about, not only are you in charge of cooking for each, you know, first family, you do all of their state dinners too. So that means you've not only cooked for other presidents, other heads of country.
Yes.
You have cooked for the Queen.
Absolutely, yes. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth.
Look at this, huh?
Paid, oh my goodness, yes. She paid a visit in 2008. And she was, I think she's the only head of state who ever asked actually to meet us.
Wow.
And so they lined us all up there, and we met her and Prince Philip.
You must have made one heck of a steak for her to say, let me talk to the chef.
Yeah, really.
I don't know, but she's obviously very kindly.
Yes.
Was that probably one of the best people that you've cooked for in the White House?
Well, it's the most memorable for me, yes.
How impressive.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Now you have this new show. It's called Blue Ribbon Baking Championship on Netflix, right?
Yeah. So I'm one of the judges on the show. It's really fun. It's based on the idea of a state fair, which this time of year is huge across the country. Every state usually has some kind of county fair. And these are you're seeing there on the split screen, the contestants. Great group, 10 people from all over the country. And I think during the pandemic, a lot of people got into some kind of hobby, in this case, baking. And these people just really outdid themselves. That's Nathan and Kat, Kim, and Jason Biggs is the host. Very funny, wonderful, warm-hearted guy.
Well, we all know he likes pie.
Yes. So we have a few winks and nods to that. And this is Sandra Lee, who came up with the idea, and who's just a very wonderful, warm personality on the show.
Speaking of Sandra Lee, I think New York State Fair starts today.
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
oh,
there you
cool.
go.
I'm not even aware. But yeah, she's very knowledgeable about state fairs.
I don't love all fair food. So is there anything like nasty that you're like, how did they make it into the state fair?
You know, there's so many of these, like kind of weird. So it's an old tradition. It's hundreds of years old in the States. And so there's always like a pickling competition. There's cakes and pies, all of which I love. The fried food on a stick is the one that I really have trouble with.
Yeah.
I mean, they fry
everything.
Twinkies.
I know.
Right.
I mean, it's really, it's not my.
They're doing pickled everything too now. Now pickles are making their way into cupcakes.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, that I'm for because in where I work on a day-to-day basis at Blue Hill Restaurant, we pickle a lot of the seasonal stuff. So in the summer, if you grow things, you have way too much. You can't even give it away to your neighbors. So we pickle it, and I find it adds like a little bit of acidity to a dessert. It's kind of fun to bite into, like a pickled cherry and a cup.
What are you making today?
So this is a Basque cheesecake. And I'm so glad that Kala recognized that it's supposed to be very dark. So usually I have to explain this is not burnt. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
So a Basque cheesecake. Basque is a region in France, southern France, right on the border with Spain. And shall I go ahead and mix it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I already I put this the cream cheese in the microwave just for a few seconds to soften it, and to it I add the sugar, and there's also some flour mixed in with it, just a small amount of flour, only a quarter cup of flour.
Is there already whipping cream in there? Because it's so light.
No, not yet. That's just the cream cheese.
Oh.
But when you heat it up in the microwave, it's easy to mix. So the advantage of that is no lumps. So you have to really mix it around. And the reason I chose this recipe is it's something that can be done just by hand. You don't even need an electric mixer.
Oh, right.
You know, in New York kitchens, we don't always have that much room for that stuff. So this one is just kind of stir and dump into the, I'm going to use a whisk for this. Yeah. Bear with me. So yeah, you just get it to come together, pour it into your very well greased cake mold.
I'm not going to shout out any brands of cream cheese, but I swear they taste different. I am partial to one brand.
They do.
And are you partial to your brands, like certain butters and certain cream cheeses and milk?
Yeah, it also depends on what's in your grocery store.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to travel across town.
Right.
So, you know, but so oh, sorry, I'm messing up your set here.
Listen, you cook like me. I love a messy chef.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I use the, traditional one, but there are some, if you're going to specialty stores, like organic stores, there are some that are made without any gelatin, which is kind of a cool thing. It gives a different texture, smoother, and just creamier, I think.
So good.
While you
just
do that,
like
Cal is going to cut this box. Can we cut into that one?
Yeah, great. Okay, while you're doing that, please help yourself. So that's done. That's the whole secret right there.
That's it.
That's it.
No vanilla.
I added that already, just off camera to save a little time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, you didn't add other secrets, right? You're not holding out on us. Is there something a little special in there?
No.
That's it.
It's that's it. You're done. Bake it 400 degrees.
Really?
It takes a while, so it's about 45 minutes to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And you see it comes out like this.
Look how beautiful.
So
And
you
the
have this really
inside
dark
slopes a little?
surface. What's that?
The inside slopes a little, right? Isn't that the whole idea of a Basque cheesecake?
That's right. It kind of climbs up a little bit and then recollapses, so you can see how creamy it is. Here, let me serve you.
Thank you so much.
So for people who don't know, what is the difference of this compared to like a New York style cheesecake?
Yeah, a New York style cheesecake is usually baked in a water bath. So that cooks it slowly, the eggs cook very slowly, and it becomes sort of like a flan or a custard. Whereas this one, you don't need a water bath. This just goes into the oven just as is, bakes until you see that nice dark top. But I still think it's creamy. And
I never eat on TV, and I just had a bite of this. It melts in your mouth.
Thank you.
And I am honored to eat your food.
I was going to say, I had to eat.
Unbelievable.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to clean my plate. Don't
Oh,
mind me.
okay. I'm not. It's gone already. Didn't like it, huh?
This is amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, you're amazing. Come on back, okay? Thank you so much.
Be happy to.
You can check them out on Blue Ribbon Baking Championship, streaming on Netflix right now.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thanks for the
to you.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh my God. You want seconds?
Yeah, please. I mean, just give me a plate.
There's enough for crew, too.